Electrical tape and wire nuts are fundamental components in electrical work, each serving a distinct purpose in creating safe and reliable connections. Understanding their proper application is crucial for anyone working with electrical systems. Electrical tape, typically made of vinyl, provides insulation and protection to electrical connections. Its primary function is to prevent electrical current from straying from the intended path, reducing the risk of shocks, short circuits, and fires. When applied correctly, electrical tape forms a barrier against moisture, dust, and other contaminants that can compromise the integrity of a connection. There are several types of electrical tape, each designed for specific applications. General-purpose vinyl tape is suitable for most household and low-voltage electrical work. High-temperature tape is used in environments where temperatures can exceed the limits of standard tape, such as near motors or heating elements. Rubber splicing tape is used to create watertight seals and insulate high-voltage connections. To properly apply electrical tape, firstly, ensure the power is disconnected from the circuit you are working on. Secondly, clean the wires to be connected and remove any dirt, grease, or corrosion. Thirdly, make a secure mechanical connection, such as using a wire connector, before applying the tape. Fourthly, begin wrapping the tape a short distance onto the wire insulation, overlapping each layer by about half the width of the tape. Fifthly, stretch the tape slightly as you wrap it to create a tight seal. Sixthly, continue wrapping past the end of the connection, again overlapping onto the wire insulation. Finally, apply several layers of tape to ensure adequate insulation and protection. Wire nuts, also known as wire connectors, are used to create secure mechanical and electrical connections between two or more wires. They consist of a plastic or ceramic cap with a tapered internal thread that grips the wires when twisted on. Wire nuts are available in various sizes to accommodate different wire gauges and numbers of wires. The color of the wire nut typically indicates its size and the range of wire combinations it can handle. When selecting a wire nut, it is important to choose the correct size for the wires being connected. Using a wire nut that is too small can result in a loose connection, while using one that is too large can prevent the wires from being properly secured. To properly use wire nuts, firstly, ensure the power is disconnected from the circuit. Secondly, strip the ends of the wires to be connected, exposing about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch of bare wire. Thirdly, hold the wires together with the ends aligned. Fourthly, twist the wire nut onto the wires in a clockwise direction, applying firm pressure. Fifthly, continue twisting until the wires are tightly twisted together inside the wire nut and the insulation of the wires is engaged with the wire nut. Finally, give the wire nut a gentle tug to ensure the connection is secure. If the wires come loose, remove the wire nut and repeat the process, ensuring the wires are properly aligned and twisted together. While both electrical tape and wire nuts are used to create electrical connections, they serve different functions. Wire nuts provide the mechanical connection and initial insulation, while electrical tape provides additional insulation and protection. In many cases, both wire nuts and electrical tape are used together to create a more secure and reliable connection. After installing a wire nut, it is common practice to wrap the connection with electrical tape to provide additional insulation and protection against moisture and corrosion. This is particularly important in damp or outdoor environments. Over time, electrical connections can loosen or corrode, leading to potential hazards. It is important to periodically inspect electrical connections to ensure they are secure and in good condition. Look for signs of loose wires, damaged insulation, or corrosion. If any problems are found, disconnect the power and repair or replace the connection as needed. When working with electrical systems, it is essential to follow all safety precautions and local electrical codes. Always disconnect the power before working on any electrical circuit. Use insulated tools and wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, consult a qualified electrician. Several common mistakes can compromise the safety and reliability of electrical connections. One common mistake is using the wrong size wire nut for the wires being connected. This can result in a loose connection that can overheat and cause a fire. Another common mistake is not stripping enough insulation from the wires. This can prevent the wires from making proper contact inside the wire nut. A third mistake is over-tightening the wire nut. This can damage the wires and weaken the connection. A fourth mistake is not wrapping electrical tape properly. Gaps in the tape can allow moisture and contaminants to enter the connection. In addition to electrical tape and wire nuts, several other types of electrical connectors are available. These include crimp connectors, push-in connectors, and terminal blocks. Each type of connector has its own advantages and disadvantages, and the best choice depends on the specific application. Crimp connectors are commonly used for making permanent connections. They consist of a metal sleeve that is crimped onto the wires using a special tool. Crimp connectors provide a strong and reliable connection, but they cannot be easily disconnected. Push-in connectors are used for making quick and easy connections. They consist of a plastic housing with spring-loaded contacts that grip the wires. Push-in connectors are convenient for temporary connections or for applications where frequent changes are required. Terminal blocks are used for making connections between multiple wires. They consist of a series of terminals that are mounted on a strip. Terminal blocks provide a neat and organized way to connect and disconnect wires. Understanding the fundamentals of electrical connections is essential for anyone working with electrical systems. By using the proper tools and techniques, and by following all safety precautions, you can create safe and reliable connections that will provide years of trouble-free service. Remember to always consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns about electrical work. Proper electrical connections are paramount for safety and functionality in any electrical system. Whether it's a simple household circuit or a complex industrial installation, the principles remain the same. A secure and well-insulated connection minimizes the risk of electrical hazards and ensures that the system operates efficiently. Faulty connections, on the other hand, can lead to a range of problems, including overheating, voltage drops, and even fires. Therefore, understanding the proper methods for making electrical connections is crucial for anyone involved in electrical work. One of the key aspects of making a good electrical connection is to ensure that the wires are properly prepared. This involves stripping the insulation from the ends of the wires to expose the bare conductor. The amount of insulation that needs to be removed depends on the type of connector being used. For wire nuts, it is typically recommended to strip about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch of insulation. For other types of connectors, the manufacturer's instructions should be followed. When stripping the insulation, it is important to use a proper wire stripper. Using a knife or other sharp object can damage the conductor, which can weaken the connection and increase the risk of corrosion. Wire strippers are designed to remove the insulation without damaging the conductor. Another important aspect of making a good electrical connection is to ensure that the wires are properly joined together. This can be done using a variety of methods depending on the type of connector being used. For wire nuts, the wires should be held together with the ends aligned and then twisted together in a clockwise direction. The wire nut should then be twisted onto the wires until it is snug. For other types of connectors, the manufacturer's instructions should be followed. Once the wires are joined together, it is important to ensure that the connection is properly insulated. This is typically done using electrical tape. The electrical tape should be wrapped tightly around the connection, overlapping each layer by about half the width of the tape. This will create a waterproof and airtight seal that will protect the connection from moisture and corrosion. In addition to using electrical tape, it is also important to ensure that the connection is properly supported. This can be done by using cable ties or other methods to secure the wires to a nearby surface. This will prevent the connection from being pulled or strained, which can weaken the connection and increase the risk of failure. Finally, it is important to inspect the connection regularly to ensure that it is still in good condition. Look for signs of loose wires, damaged insulation, or corrosion. If any problems are found, the connection should be repaired or replaced immediately. By following these simple steps, anyone can make safe and reliable electrical connections. However, it is important to remember that electrical work can be dangerous. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to consult a qualified electrician.